we've got Jo Pitt today, who is our guest speaker. Unfortunately, she's got to go to another meeting, so we're a little bit short on time. So we're going to go straight into it. I'm desperate to hear what Jo's got to say. So I'll hand over to you today, Jo.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm going to talk today about CEWT, which is the Community Emotional Wellbeing Therapies. I'm going to go into more detail on it, but we only launched at the end of January, and we're already on a waiting list and running a great service. So I'll go through the PowerPoint, and then if anyone's got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them afterwards.
Thank you.
Just one sec. Okay. Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay, so we are Community Emotional Wellbeing Together. As I said, we only launched in January. We're a counselling service providing free mental health support to Halton region. So my name's Jo Pitt. I'm a qualified counsellor, clinical supervisor, do consultancy work and training. I was a lecturer at Riverside College for 10 years, and then I left to work with looked after children, and I worked with Core Assets for 18 months. Nikki, where your mum works now, actually. I now work fully self-employed as of last September, so kind of loads of opportunities presented themselves, and I always had the idea to open this counselling service, but later on in the year. It wasn't planned to happen at the beginning of the year, but I'll go into more reasons why we did that. So I do lots of different work. I do training for NHS Wales and England. I do training for counsellors and student counsellors. I work with a pharmaceutical company doing wellbeing training for them, and a kind of home for autistic children in Warrington, and I do training and support sessions for them too. So why did we launch early? So I developed a Halton Emotional Wellbeing group on Facebook at the beginning of lockdown in March last year. There just seemed to be loads of vulnerable people kind of on social media. We received 1,500 members within a week, and it's still running really successfully now. The group is active, and lots of people take part in it. It's kind of more of a place where people can come together. Somebody shares how they're feeling, everybody on the group will try and support them, and there's about 6 of us who are therapists who kind of manage that group, and it's great. It's just a really positive place. I don't know whether any of you are on it. During lockdown, once again, some of the local mental health services closed with each lockdown, and also being a supervisor and for student counsellors and qualified, was really aware that not only was a lot of Halton vulnerable at the time with places closing and sessions ending, there was also a massive group of counsellors who were unable to complete their 100 hours. So it just seemed like 2 really good reasons to launch. So that's what I did. So in January, within 2 weeks of deciding, CEWT was up and running, and we went straight onto Zoom. I've been using Zoom this year myself. I'm very surprisingly been aware that it works really successfully, which I wasn't kind of sure that was going to happen if I hadn't done, but having to do it kind of really changed that. So we started advertising to vulnerable residents in Halton. So the lockdowns and the impact on the community was huge. We now offer so many services to different people. We've got the counsellors getting placement hours, got 4 qualified counsellors working with us as well. So in the 4 months we launched, we have 21 therapists. We have children and young people therapists, qualified and trainees who are doing placement, and we have adults who are doing the foundation degree. We're using students from Riverside, Warrington, UCLan, Salford University and Manchester College at the moment. To date, we've done 302 counselling sessions since we launched, and they are on Zoom and face-to-face. So we are supporting OBA School, LIPA in Liverpool. Their waiting list for vulnerable children 16 to 18 had got so big, and we were contacted by them, and we've got 2 counsellors working with LIPA, seeing 8 clients a week there. The job centre are using us. We're getting every day referrals of them. Argos call centre, there was some really vulnerable people who were furloughed. We're working with Hillview Primary School, and we're working with another call centre who don't want us to use their name, sorry. We've also just been approached just last week by Linda at the Women's Centre in Runcorn, who kind of is really on board with what we're doing, and she's offered to let us use some of her space, her counselling rooms, for face-to-face, which is amazing. And I think we're going to prioritise them for children, because Zoom is great for adults. It's a little bit less effective for children. And we've got the children, young people counsellors who can come on board and do that face-to-face. We're also, all of us are working voluntary at the moment. The counsellors are all working voluntary. The qualifieds are, and so is myself, and Carolyn Fitzpatrick has helped me out with some of the admin. The plan is we're going to start applying for funding, because it's all been quite a whirlwind. It's all really took off. So here's our referral process. So the client makes contact with us. That's via our email address, or if anyone has got the referral form, the clients are sending it straight to us. The client returns the referral form and we allocate a therapist. We wanted to keep this as simple as we can. When we receive the referral form, the allocation to the therapist is based on the client's needs, and then we look at the experience and whether it's a children and young person counsellor or an adult counsellor that's required. And then we allocate. The therapist will then contact the client. So each client receives 12 sessions. Each client can use 2 does not attend or 2 cancellations. Within our contract with the client, it's also that they have to kind of tick that they can commit to 12 weeks in the contract. The counsellor emails the client. They arrange a convenient day and time for them. And this is what's working really well with Zoom. So sometimes there's evening sessions for clients. There's a lot of flexibility. So, and the counsellors, because it's on Zoom, if we've got shift workers or anybody like that has to change sessions every week, that's all working really well if the counsellor can also do that. On session 1, the counsellor will complete a client counsellor agreement and a core 10, which we do at week 1, 6 and 12 to measure the progress of the client. So looking at the future of CEWT, we're doing one-to-one counselling sessions, and we're doing virtual and face-to-face at the moment in the schools, and obviously hopefully at the Women's Centre. We're seeing adults and children. What we want to start doing is support groups for anxiety, depression, bereavement and stress. So these will be more like group counselling. And also we'd love to kind of do that with children and young people, especially teenagers, kind of bringing mental health into more of an accessible talk and conversation. We want to be doing some training in support and mental health and wellbeing in schools and businesses. I currently work in 2 schools. One is an SEN school where I am today. And I've been doing some training for these over the last couple of months as well. But we really want to offer counselling and support as well to kind of the teachers as well and the staff, and be able to support them, because I mean it's been a huge shift and we don't know what even September is going to be like, so it'd be good if we could kind of support everybody within that school. We also want to kind of, one of the big things I wanted to do with CEWT was kind of go into schools looking at ACEs and preventative mental health support. So with children who are kind of just starting to show some signs of maybe needing some support and going in and doing those preventative techniques and interventions. And hopefully with funding, we'll be offering paid roles to counsellors in the future. So how can you access our service? We operate on the referral form through the email, which is on this PowerPoint. It's self-referral or organisational referral. We can be contacted at this email address, and we are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. So if you require any further information or would like to use our services, you can contact us. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And there's if you search for either of them, or just search for community emotional wellbeing. We feel like, I'll just stop sharing. This has just got so big, so quick. The therapists are working so hard. We've got a waiting list for counsellors who want to come on board, and we're currently on a waiting list for clients, and that kinds to seem to just shift every week. So as soon as we allocate, we get some more in. So our waiting list is probably about 2 weeks at the moment, that's all. And we're getting a lot more children coming on board now, which is amazing. And that's it. Any questions?
Fantastic, thank you, Jo. I just wanted to say thank you for your presentation. That was really interested in it. Just for me, just before I check with anybody else has got any questions, just for referral for young people, do they do that through the school or do they do that direct with that referral form?
We've had different, so we've had the school, the heads of sixth form and the head of years in schools. We've had Asmore School just contact us, and we're working with Hillview. So if it's young children, we've also had parents, and we've also had anybody under 16. We can't take their referral without speaking to an adult.
Yeah.
And we've had 2 of them, and then they're passed on parents' details, and then that's been arranged and sorted. But anyone over 16 can self-refer themselves.
Okay, thank you. Has anybody else got any questions they'd like to ask?
Claire?
Oh, Claire?
Hi, yeah, Claire from Age UK with Mersey. Lovely to meet you.
Hi.
Really interesting presentation, so thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Obviously, we're quite interested in your service because we've got a lot of very vulnerable older people. Primarily, a lot of those people are suffering from a lack of confidence now, in terms of they've been locked up for so long that getting back out there is going to be quite difficult for them. And the other thing is that they are obviously isolated, but a lot of them are isolated because they're not online. So you mentioned face-to-face, which for those would be great. In terms of your contact details, can I just take those again, because it kind of went off the screen? I'm on my phone, and it was tiny.
It's okay. It's
moment.
Yeah, it's CEWTAD.
Yeah.
At outlook.com.
Outlook.
Outlook.com. Yeah. What we are offering some clients, and these are elderly, is the counsellors are doing telephone counselling for them if they haven't got Zoom. But when hopefully if we have enough availability at the Women's Centre, along with children, will be the elderly will be prioritised. So anyone who can access Zoom, we're going to try and keep them on Zoom, because we'll be limited with face-to-face spaces. So that will be a priority, Claire, anyway, as well as children.
I mean, a lot of them have gone on Zoom. There's been a real movement, so that's brilliant. Is there a phone number then that I can take as well? Or
no,
you want it all through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only at the moment, because we're kind of running cute in between working full time. So we're all me and Carolyn are both doing the allocations, the emails. Once Carolyn hopefully is going to come on board for 1 day a week next month to do admin. Once that happens, we will then operate a telephone number. But at the moment, with us both working full time, we will be forever picking up voicemail, so it's quicker and easier at the moment just to use email.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, when you said you volunteer, wow, amazing. It's brilliant. Anyway, thanks very much for that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Jo. I think Nikki would like to ask something as well, Nikki.
Take myself off mute. I said morning before I was still on mute. So I just wanted to check, are you in touch with Michelle Ford at all from the Health Improvement team? Because she leads all the work that we do with schools, and we actually have the MARS framework, which is the Mental Health and Resilience framework. So we are actually in all schools, and there's kind of various things that we provide that you may well be able to get linked in with.
Okay, no, I'm not, Nikki. That would be great, though, to get in touch with her.
What I'll do is, sorry, I didn't take your email then. Is it CEWT? AD?
Yeah, at outlook.com.
At outlook.com. And I also wanted to ask, other question was, do you do any specific sessions around bereavement?
Yeah. Yeah, we've also
do you have counsellors trained specifically in bereavement? Because we know that's a massive gap in the area.
Massively, yeah. We've got the children and young people are, because we're integrative therapists as well, we can work with bereavement, but also I've done a lot of CPD sessions for therapists on, and one of them was bereavement, and we've got 6 on the team who've done that. So, I can do that too. So yeah.
Oh, right.
Loads.
Brill. And last one, I deliver the suicide awareness training locally, and the mental health awareness training, and it is CPD accredited. So if you wanted any sessions around that, give me a shout.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
I'm delivering Zoom, Teams, and Skype.
That would be really good, actually, because I know the students at Riverside have done it, but I don't think the UPlan and Salford. So it might be really good to have you in and come in and do it just for everyone as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, that's fine. Have you got my email? As I say, they've been sent out. Tell you what, I'll chuck it in.
Okay.
I'll chuck it in there, and then you've got that, and just get in touch.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Nikki.
I've also got the presentation slides and the referral form that Jo's kindly asked me to circulate to everybody that's in attendance, so I can always send those out as well. And I think that last slide had all of your contact details on, didn't it, Jo?
It did.
Yeah. So I can do that. Dave's just put in the chat that we're actually going to put this up on Facebook. I'm going to leave that to him because I'm not very technical. So Dave's going to do that for me a bit later on. So if anybody wants to see the presentation again and just run through kind of anything, you'll be able to pick that up on Facebook.
Well.
So anybody else have any other questions? No. I did have a question that came from one of my colleagues, and I think you answered it. She said that were all of the counsellors BACP registered or affiliated, and if you could give me some details.
Absolutely, yeah. Every therapist is registered at the BACP. They've got insurance, DBS checked, and they've also all completed the BACP online training for Zoom and telephone counselling. They've all got their letter to go on placement if they're students, and they're all in supervision, which we check every month. So yeah, we've ticked everything, hopefully.
Fantastic. Just from a personal point of view, what's kind of been the theme that, and I know you've talked about lots of different groups and lots of different areas, and Nikki's just mentioned bereavement. What do you feel has been the biggest thing that people have come to you through lockdown? What do you think has been the biggest thing? Depression and anxiety, massively, especially with the world opening back up again. A lot of it's been about going back to work, mixing again, and also we've had a lot of bereavement because a lot of people have lost family members. So that all tends to come as one together, if that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. Noticed Irene's just. Oh, the other thing I just want to say as well, the 12 sessions, if at the end of that 12, the client and the counsellor feel it's not ready to end, we do opt them for an extra 3 to take to 15. But then also if that client is still vulnerable, they have the opportunity to come back into the system
and start therapy again. And at the moment, because of that counsellor's ended with that client, they've then started their 12 again.
Wow.
So we're not just kind of, when someone's gone, that's it, because it would be unethical. We're offering, you know, to really support the clients.
Wonderful. Sorry, Irene,
Okay.
did you have a question? Did you want
Yeah.
to?
What I'd like to say is about our role as Health Watch Halton is to get people's experiences of using the services and raising awareness of Health Watch Halton. Given the amount of service delivery that you are providing, and it's excellent, it's blown away by it all, is if people are struggling to access mainstream services, we need to hear about it. So is there any opportunity for you to raise awareness of Health Watch with all the people that you are supporting?
Absolutely. I mean, we can share it on our social media, especially our Twitter. That seems to be the busiest for us. But yeah, we're happy to share that.
Obviously, the demand for mainstream services, you know, it's simply not there. There sounds like there's a massive gap in service delivery, and that's the type of thing that we look for, and hopefully get more funding and service delivery looked at. But
I think
without feedback.
I think for us, I think the reason I launched it on Zoom and saw that opportunity was, if we, at that point, obviously we didn't know when we were going to come out of lockdown or whether we're going to go into lockdown again. And a lot of the mental health services are open and closed and open and closed. And so there's a lack of consistency. So for us, I think we'll always keep the Zoom option, so that if ever in the future we need to lock down again, our service won't close.
Is there any opportunity for Health Watch to come to one of your Zoom sessions? I mean, I know about confidentiality and all that. If everyone wanted to put the camera, you know, switch the cameras, we can't see them. And so we could explain Health Watch to them before your session or after your session.
It would breach probably confidentiality and ethics to do that. But we have a team meeting once a month on a Sunday evening. We just had one this Sunday. So all the therapy, because we're working virtually, it almost comes under lone working. So we have a WhatsApp group for all the counsellors to kind of support each other and share kind of good practice. We also have the team meeting. Now, I know it's a Sunday evening because people work, so that worked out the best day, but I'm more than happy for someone to pop into that, so you can explain to the therapist, so the therapist can mention it to the clients in the first session.
Yeah, that'd be fabulous. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Your work you're doing is amazing, I think.
Thanks, we're loving it. Everyone's working hard.
Dave, did you have a question, or was that a legacy hand you had?
It was really just to say, if there's anything you want us to promote, Joanne, send it over to Louise, and it can go in the bulletin and the website, and there's again social media, because we seem to have a huge number of people accessing have a website particularly at the moment, but social media, and the bulletin goes out every couple of weeks, so that goes across. It goes across the whole network.
I'll put something together based on kind of the numbers that we're at right now, because I think that for the team on Sunday, that was a massive achievement. You know, everyone's really worked hard, and we've done so much work in such a short space of time. So that'd be great to kind of put that in. And obviously all our details of how we can be contacted.
That's fantastic, Jo. I'm conscious that I don't want to keep you too long, because I know that you've got to prepare for your meeting that you're going to do next. Is there anybody else got any other questions, or am I okay to share if anybody would like me to share their email address with Jo, I'm more than happy to do that. And as I say, I'll send over the slides and you can see the presentation as well. So is there anything anybody else wanted to ask, or no? No, I think you've answered everything, Jo. I think brilliant presentation. Really enjoyed hearing from you, and hopefully there's some connections that we've made between different people on the call, so that's good as well. But thank you.
Brilliant.
It's such an amazing service.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Jo.
All right, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 So does anybody else have anything that they wanted to discuss on today's session, or are we okay to kind of bring it to a close and then post this on Facebook this afternoon or later? I'm saying this afternoon, sorry Dave, I'm putting you under pressure there. Later on, should we say, over the next
not
couple
this
of days?
afternoon, no. Tomorrow most probably it'll be.
Yeah, sorry, tomorrow. So I'll send out the details of the next session. I'm just about to post it online now, so I'll send the details across. I'll send all of Jo's details, and I'll keep all of the details on hand. Sorry, Dave, did you want to ask something?
Yes, sorry, Louise, if I could just put a shout out. We're running a priority survey to find out what the public issues are that we maybe should be looking at in the next year. If I'll send the link to Louise, but if you could spread that wide or even take part in it if you think there's anything locally that isn't being paid attention to. The general one tends to be access to GPs still, but anything else, and then you're running that for the next month or so, and then that'll feed into the priority issues we've done. And also finally, just as well, see, we've got a few of our stakeholders here, we'll be running a 360-degree review soon, which we need to send a survey out round stakeholders to see what they think of us and Louise's lovely sessions. So if I can, I'll send that to Louise as well, and if we can pass that on, and anybody wants to take part in that, it'd be much appreciated. Tell us what we're doing well and where we could be better. That would be really good. Thank you.
No problems. Lou, have you got the presentation from the medicines management session a couple of weeks ago?
I'm sure I have, but if I
haven't
got it to hand, I can get it to you. That's no problem.
No, that'd be brilliant. Thank you.
No, more than welcome.
Send the Facebook link if you want to watch it on Facebook, Nikki.
Yes.
Or it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, it's just a presentation. I wanted to show it. That was all.
Yeah, not a problem. I can get that across to you.
Fab. Thank you.
So I think that's everything for today. I'm sorry it was a bit of a short one, but as we know, Jo had to go to a meeting. So well, it's nice to see everybody again, some familiar faces. Okay, so I'll send you the details for the next one.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.